Hey, Sophia.
What's up, bro?
Okay, then. How do you think the world will end?
Like aliens, probably.
True. But I mean, will it end more like The Giver or Anthem?
I mean, Anthem, definitely.
What? No way. Definitely The Giver.
What?
How could it possibly end like Anthem?
How could it not? It is at least 80% more realistic than The Giver. Total scientific fact.
Ladder. I mean, come on. In society today, we already try to conform to society's idealistic standards.
Speak for yourself, bro. Well, that is true. What do you think happened in Anthem? I mean, come on. The guy gets in trouble for being hot and smart. They want everyone to conform to their weird, ugly people society.
That's the complete opposite of society now. Also, in The Giver, they have the whole weather, climate control thingy, and with global warming now, that's probably going to happen in the future. So, The Giver is way more likely to happen. I mean, you make a point, but in The Giver, they have the elders to choose their positions, so that stuff in Anthem where the guy goes crazy doesn't happen. And they have pills to definitely make sure that that doesn't happen.
But nowhere in the book does it say that the pills are healthy. Even if they are, is it scientifically possible to remove dreams and emotions without sedation? Which, by the way, is not healthy when taken regularly. And another thing, even with our tremendous dependence on technology, we are all aware of the nasty environmental side effects it has. It isn't very surprising that technology was wiped out. I may not agree with removing technology, because I need Tumblr to survive, but it may be necessary in the vast future to rid ourselves of it.
Hey, if the injections aren't healthy, they wouldn't use them. Plus, our science and medical understanding now might not be able to do it, but in the future we might. And B, our dependency on technology now would create the Giver scenario, like the speakers, the climate control, the pill things, and half the other things in the community.
When did the elders prove to care about the well-being of the citizens? They care about keeping everyone in line with a false sense of security to avoid war and conflict. And speaking of the Giver himself, how does he pass his memories? A memory chip? That can't be healthy. It isn't scientifically possible to just magically pass memories to someone.
Oh yeah, and the people in Anthem really care about their citizens' well-being. Okay, so maybe the memory thing is a little bit confusing. I'll give you that. But if science advances far enough, it could be possible. Memories could be shared through blood or connection. Or it could be a genetic mutation. At least they don't stalk people in The Giver. In Anthem, they keep a 24-hour watch on people. How is that helpful again?
Okay, so they watch their citizens. But remember in The Giver, whenever someone did something wrong, an announcement would be made. How could the people know what the others were doing unless they were watching them? And also, memories aren't stored in blood. I did some research, and memories are stored in groups of neurons, which activate when a person recalls the memory. The Giver transmits memories by simply placing his hands on Jonas's back, and you and I are both aware of the extensive technological things needed for others to merely view another's memory.
Yes, I am aware of the technological advances needed to do this, but it is still possible. It might not be possible exactly the way it's depicted in the book, but mankind could still advance far enough to be able to do something like that. In twins, they can share a memory that happened to one but didn't happen to the other. Also, some people who know each other well and family members can share memories as well. If humans advance more, everyone could eventually be able to do something like that.
Yes, sure, whatever. But everyone can't do it. Only a select few are able, as shown by Jonas attempting to share a memory with his sister, or Fiona, I don't remember who. Pretty much only people with light eyes can share memories. But that doesn't make any sense. Eye color is the tiniest genetic difference between humans, and it is extremely unlikely that it would contribute to memory transmission.
Yes, but it could be an advanced genetic mutation, like having red hair. Natural red hair. I know it's still a genetic trait, but people who have pale eyes in their society could also have the capability of memory sharing, just like people with red hair. It takes twice as much anesthesia to knock them out as it does for people without red hair. So maybe pale-eyed people in their society have some mutation like that. Memory sharing ability.
How could such a small genetic factor as eye color produce an entire ability as memory sharing? Complete ludicrous, if you ask me. It is entirely possible to, let a hair color or skin pigment extend or shorten life, but memory sharing is entirely too large to be an ability determined by eye color.
It could be a neurological mutation. just like redheads have, so it is technically possible to share memories with others. The eye color doesn't have to contribute to the fact. It could just be an effect.
But you still haven't explained how the memories can be shared. I highly doubt the Giver, Jonas, and Gabe are all related, and they certainly don't know each other that well. So how could they possibly share memories?
Yes! They could be related. Remember the birth mothers? Well, they could have the same bloodline, as in different birth mothers, but one birth mother was related to the other. So they could be related that way.
There is no proof or even evidence that they could be related. There is only their eye color, and that is certainly not an indication of relation.
It is certainly a possibility that they could be related. All right, hold up. I'm turning this conversation on you now. A, what's with the whole mating hall room thing? Isn't that like way too invasive for our society? And B, the whole women living in the house of poor or unwanted people. In our society, we respect women. The whole equal rights thing in the Constitution.
A. As seen in The Giver, love was decided to be dangerous and makes people reckless. If you want to continue the population without romance, and also, remember, without technology or extensive scientific knowledge, mating isn't an awful idea. B. Eva, remember the patriarchy. We may have equal rights, but there's still a wage gap. Women being treated disrespectfully, and being put down for whatever they do, and a whole lot more. Equal rights isn't the same as equal respect.
Yes, but that would make The Giver more possible. I mean, we are trying to fix the way things are now, and The Giver, everyone is more or less equal.
Are we, Eva? Are we? I'd say at least 50% of the male population believes that they are above women. That isn't moving forward or even trying to. Also, we're talking realism, not idealism.
I'm well aware of that. I know that women are not entirely equal to the men. That's very true. But I doubt we would go back as far as to put them in houses and treat them as slaves.
The patriarchy might make that happen, Eva. That's how the patriarchy works, and it's barely been dented by all of feminism's efforts. Gosh, Eva.
It is still more likely than women becoming basically slave farmer people. I mean, I'm pretty sure women would double their efforts for equality if men even tried to do that.
But that's all they know. They don't know anything is wrong with it because it's the only thing they're taught. That doesn't mean it's good, but it's likely that if they started teaching girls as children that they are less than men, that it would just keep the mindset their whole life.
Would women really let it get to that point? I mean, before this, there was something, so why would women let themselves be downgraded? The answer is they just wouldn't.
It isn't like they were given a choice. Well, look, I don't think this debate is going anywhere. We might as well just agree to disagree, and you can come back later when your opinion is better.
My opinion's just fine, but I agree, Sophia. Let's just leave it here.
See you later.